So strange. It's so weird.
Like you'd see groups of like 20 people.
People were
So like here, like that is not a thing at all.
I can't handle it.
It's really bad for me.
I've never had that surgeon struck me.
車がたくさん路上に駐車されてて、日本では見ないからびっくりしました。電車がすごい分かりやすくて迷わなくてすごいいいなって思いました。
I'm just impressed by how kind the Korean people are, you know, and so helpful. Like they're always willing to help you. If we're lost and they can see you're struggling, they'll come up and help you. They're so kind.
And that we have to pull the food out and put it in the trash here. In the United States, there are garbage disposals and you just switch a button on and it grinds up the food in the sink. So you don't have to do a food waste bag. There's no food waste bag. So it was different.
I've never had that surgeon struck me. We bury our food in the garden, so...
Oh, good. That's more useful.
Deux choses qui m'ont impressionné, qui m'ont choqué plutôt. La première, c'est le temps limite pour les restaurants. En France, on a plutôt l'habitude de prendre beaucoup de temps à manger, de prendre son temps, d'être en famille. Et dans beaucoup de restaurants en Corée, j'ai vu une limite de temps de 90 minutes ou alors 2 heures. Et franchement, quand on n'est pas habitué, on se dit « Ah, on n'a pas le temps !» Ou alors, comme deuxième truc qui m'a choqué, c'est vraiment le calme et la sécurité qu'on n'a plus du tout en France. On commence à avoir beaucoup de délinquance qui commence à arriver. Et c'est dommage, c'est vraiment dommage.
Hello! I recently got to visit South Korea for the first time to visit my best friend Nicole, who lives there. Nicole and I got to visit Seoul, Busan, Cheongsong, and Pohang, which was absolutely incredible. What was something shocking that I came across in South Korea? I definitely had a little bit of culture shock, especially on the airplane, the Incheon airport, because I noticed that just about right away, there was a lot less personal space than I was used to people giving. In America, personal space is very important, and there's this effort that's made by most people to not touch each other if possible. Whereas when I got to Korea and when I was interacting with people on that first plane, people were elbowing each other and kind of just forcing their way through and were more comfortable touching each other than I was used to. So that was something that definitely I had to adjust to. And then once I'd adjusted, I became much more used to it. And the other thing, it wasn't a shock, but it was something that grew on me very quickly, was that everyone bows in Korea to greet, to thank, to apologize, to say goodbye. And so very quickly, I got into the habit of bowing. In America, the customary greeting is to shake hands. And so bowing was something that I'm not used to doing, but that I enjoyed doing. I thought it was a really neat aspect of the culture that I got to experience. So yeah, till next time.
I'm from Indonesia, Depok. Yeah, Depok. I'm really surprised for weather. Weather in here very cold and I can handle it.
It's really bad for me.
Oh my god, I really don't like only the weather. Well, right now, just coming out the climate, I didn't know what it would be like, so that surprised me. How nice everyone has been. Like, I'm able to ask people, and even if we don't understand, people help me. And also the shock of, I'm pretty good with languages, I thought. I'm not in Korea. I've been taking classes, and it's just, I feel like I know absolutely nothing. I'm just, people say something, and I'm like, what? So that was a shock. But also, it's so quiet. Like, this kind of area would have, like, construction or something in America. Like, I'm so surprised how quiet it is. Like, honestly, like, it doesn't feel like I'm in a city or anything. It feels like I'm in a tiny town. It's super quiet. It's like, you hear the car driving, but, like, there's no honking, there's no, like, drilling, nothing. It's very quiet. It's so strange. It's so weird. Anywhere you go, it doesn't matter. Like, when my parents live in a small town, and when I go, even there, they're in the middle of the woods, and it's louder than here. I don't know. So, very surprising. But yeah, in the city, oh gosh, the people yelling, and there's always construction, and it's super loud, so very, very different. This is nice. Nice and peaceful.
It's I like how it's really friendly here. It's really, everybody's really respectful here. Yeah, it's not like that in America.
I want to say compact, but there's so many people, and like, sometimes what was shocking is there's like personal space in the U.S. So like here, like that is not a thing at all. It's like you could be literally right next to somebody.
Yeah.
I think that was like the biggest culture shock.
Yeah.
Was just like there's no personal space.
really well good urbanistic for city because it's good subway, good buses and good streets. So you can travel from one part of city to another part of city so easily. And you don't think you're standing 1 hour in metros or something. So you didn't notice.
I like how city looks in general because everywhere is pieces of nature. So this natural landscape integrated very well in cityscape. But it's also very nice that city somehow on these mountains. So it feels really good. And a lot of parks, people walk a lot in the parks. And also a lot of cute dogs people have, a lot of small cute dogs. And everyone is, I've noticed it like everywhere, people very happy when you approach them to look at their dog. And they're very happy to show you this dog and give you to pet it, and it feels really nice. So you don't feel uncomfortable because you just, oh, this dog is so cute, and people don't mind if you ask to pet it maybe or make a photo. So people feel good about it. Another good thing that I've noticed is very popular that people have this change dress for national dresses and make photo sessions. So people change dress and make photos. I think it's in Asia maybe so popular. We saw it in Vietnam, I think, as well. But here a lot of special shops to change dress, and it looks good. People look beautiful, and also very beautiful castles, temples, style of Korean traditional architecture because of these pine trees. Yeah, so very beautiful.
Hello. I have been living in Busan for about 1.5 years now. Something that was shocking, I think that the smoking was very shocking to me. It was a much bigger deal in Korea than I thought it would be. Like, you'd see groups of like 20 people smoking. I think that's pretty much it. Maybe lack of space also. Because I've watched a lot of K-dramas and they don't show a lot of smoking. And obviously I know K-dramas aren't an accurate representation, but it was something that I just wasn't expecting to see. So thank you for interviewing us.
I think what shocked me about Korean travel is how clean the facilities are and how easy it is to just get from point A to point B. Well, at least where I'm from, we don't have public transportation like this robust, so it's nice to be able to travel easily.
To include that is the amount of convenience that are offered to everyone, either locally or tourists, and the amount of help that everybody's willing to give. So I really appreciated that.
Surprised the weather is very bad because when I came here, I think it's -10 and it's very freezing because in Indonesia we don't have any winter season, right? So it's very surprise for me, and that's make me I don't want to go anywhere, just staying in the hotel.
A tecnologia coreana é muito importante, pois a Coreia é meu país de número 51 em que visito e nunca em nenhum aeroporto a imigração se comunicou comigo em português como aqui na Coreia, e isso me surpreendeu muito. Me comuniquei quando me foi solicitado alguns dados, um aparelho eletrônico falou comigo em meu idioma local, em português.
It was so amazing, the culture, the people here. I was shocked, and it's so beautiful. I really want to come back here. I really like the streets here, also like the smaller streets, because it kind of reminds me of Japan, and it was so beautiful. And also the people, temples were also really beautiful. I really like the culture, it's amazing. I definitely recommend.
Ordering the tickets, very nice. We've been to Switzerland, and this was even a little easier than the Swiss train station, so take that as a compliment.
Ma sinceramente non mi ha scioccato quasi nulla. Ho visto tante manifestazioni, quello che un po' mi ha stupito.